Well, it's officially springtime. Spring practices have already begun. And that means it's time for the college football off season. Well, I guess it has been the off season, but I'm going to keep it rolling with the schedule previews. Already did Alabama. Today, we're going to look at a very special team. Shout out to all the Bulldog fans out there. Get ready for my Georgia Bulldogs preview. Let's go. On everybody, Christian Ballard here with Ballard Sports Media coming at you with a video today. Going to be previewing the 2021 Georgia football season. Got their spring game on April 17th. But before we get into this year, let's look back at how they did last year. And I'm not here to troll or anything. Uh, Obviously, it was just one of those years. They had just lost Jake Fromm. They lost so much, period. 8-2 overall, 7-2 in the SEC. They got the bowl win over Cincinnati. Pomnosky or whatever Polinsky, whatever that kicker's name, got the game winner against Cincinnati in the bowl game in the Peach Bowl. They opened up, beat Arkansas, beat Auburn, beat Tennessee. They were 3-0 until they came to Tuscaloosa, lost to my Crimson Tide in a game where they had the lead at half, 24-20. Ultimately, Alabama would go on a 21-zip run and win the game 41-24. They then got a bye week. They beat Kentucky. They lost to Florida. Florida was just that kind of team last year. They were really great with Kyle Trask and Kyle Pitts, and they had a lot of great, talented players. They were just a better team than Georgia was. Florida wins that game. Florida wins the East. Come off that, they got 3 bye weeks, mainly because they had to reschedule or cancel or whatever some games. COVID issues last year. It was a one-time deal with COVID. We'll have a normal year this year. Um, they have that Florida game. They lose that. They beat Mississippi State. They find a way to pull that out. JT Daniels takes over for the team after the whole Stetson Bennett deal. Georgia fans finally finding their guy, JT Daniels, at quarterback. I like him so far. I love JT Daniels. Now, you guys know I'm a Bama fan, but at the same time, I like to keep an eye on every other team in college football. JT Daniels gives you guys a spark at the offense. You beat South Carolina, get revenge on them 45-16 on the road. They beat y'all in 2019. Then you got a bye week. Beat Missouri, beat Vandy, beat Cincinnati with a late last second field goal. 24-21, you win the Peach Bowl. Okay, that being said, people, when I look at last year, I have a feeling if JT was the quarterback all year long, they probably would have had a chance to maybe, heck, if he had played against Florida, he probably would have beat Florida. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But enough about last year. Let's go ahead and get into the Bulldogs 2021 season. All right, so upcoming, obviously hoping for spring games this year. I think we'll get those. Limited capacity, what we're hearing. They got theirs on April 17th. But then let's get into the actual season itself. And boy, I couldn't be prouder of how they did this schedule for all of college football. I went ahead and did Bama last week. I'll be on here trolling and hyping up the Miami game. You messing around with Miami fans. No disrespect or anything. Just having fun. But if there's a bigger game on the week 1 schedule, Clemson and Georgia to open the season in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is going to be huge. But before we get into that game, let's look at this schedule as a whole. Clemson to start. Then you have a home game against UAB. That should be no problem. South Carolina comes to Athens September 18th. What happened the last time they went there, Bulldog fans? It's only been 2 years. At Vandy, home against Arkansas, at Auburn. Hey, don't feel bad. We got to go there too. Kentucky at home. Bye week against Florida. Missouri at Tennessee, Charleston Southern at home, and at Georgia Tech. I'm so happy we're going to get these rivalries back. I love the good old-fashioned hate rivalry as well. I know Georgia's beat them maybe, 4 or 5 years in a row. It's been quite a while. They've got a good streak going. But that's who you have. And then, of course, if you win the East, which a lot of people, are looking at you saying you should have no problem doing that. Because I feel like the East outside of Georgia, if Florida's taken a huge step back, Kentucky's Kentucky, Vandy's just Vandy. This is Georgia's division this year, the SEC East. But overall, let's look into these games. I think it's no question. We'll get to that Clemson game here, and I'll break that down a little bit because, Clemson's a huge powerhouse program right now. Really great team. Love Dabo. Love what he's doing with the program. It's really great. UAB, you should have no problem. At Vandy, you're a lot better than Vandy. Arkansas was a pretty decent team last year with Sam Pittman. But I still think that, they're not on the level of a team like Georgia or Florida or Bama or anybody like that. At Auburn, always keep your eye on that game. This is one of those years, people, it's an odd number year. That means Auburn gets both Georgia and Alabama at home. Now, Auburn moved this game crying because, it's not fair, we got to play Georgia and Bama back-to-back weeks. So what they do, the SEC or whoever's in charge of all the scheduling, bent over backwards, piss poor stuff, and moved the Deep South game. Great rivalry, though. I don't care where they play that game. I don't care. But just call it what it was. Auburn went to the committee. They cried about it. It's not fair. We got to move this game up. And they moved the game up. Thank God the Iron Bowl is still on rivalry weekend, people. Kentucky, then a bye week. Florida. Honestly, overall, when I look at this schedule, obviously you're not losing to UAB. South Carolina, at Vandy. That's a win, right? If there's really any team on here that I see giving you guys trouble this year, Auburn's really, they lose some talented players to the draft this year. Their defense hasn't been the same since they lost Davidson and Derek Brown a few years ago. They were a terrible team last year. Not like terrible. They just weren't, what they should have been, I guess. But then again, no other team was. There's plenty of excuses for last year with COVID, right? Normal year this year, we're hoping, outside of maybe stadium capacity. They got a new head coach, and nobody is picking Auburn for anything other than beating some cupcake teams, beating a small SEC team. I don't even know who they played this year, but let's say they're playing Vandy. You'll pick them to beat Vandy, right? But you won't pick them to upset Bama, even though it's the Iron Bowl where anything's possible. And a lot of stuff happens in the Deep South game as well, right? I just think Georgia's just going to have one of those years. They are my preseason pick to win it all and win a championship finally, right? I really love Georgia this year, right? I think they beat UAB, beat South Carolina, beat Vandy, beat Arkansas, right? That's 4 games right there. We'll get back to that Clemson game because that's huge. I think they end up beating Auburn at Jordan-Hare. I think it's close. I think Auburn gives them a fighting chance, but I think they pull it out in the end. Maybe win by a couple scores or something. Maybe if they're lucky enough, maybe they blow them out. Please, Georgia, do that. I would want nothing more than to see Auburn lose a game at home in a blowout this year outside of the Iron Bowl. That probably will happen. I don't know. We'll see. Kentucky at home. Kentucky's always an interesting team. They always seem to... they're not bad. They're decent. Kentucky, could they give you trouble? Maybe? Nah, oh my God. I don't know. I don't even know what to make of Kentucky, but I think you're going to win that game, definitely. Then you get a bye week. Then you get the cocktail party on October 30th. You're going to beat Florida. Florida's defense last year was terrible anyway. Imagine it this year. I don't even think they're getting rid of Todd Grantham, are they? No. Last I checked. Kyle Trask is gone. Kyle Pitts. You ain't got to worry about that. Their offense takes a step back. Your offense takes a step forward with JT Daniels, George Pickens, guys like that. You know, it's going to be great. Y'all are going to win the East. And doing that requires you beating Florida. I think you do that. I think you beat Missouri. I just think Georgia is one of those teams this year that, unless it's Alabama in the regular season or a team like Clemson, it's, you know, it's their game. It's their year. It's their time, right? Unless it's Bama or Clemson, which they do have Clemson week 1, it's their year. I think you beat Charleston Southern, and I think you beat Georgia Tech. Getting back to this week 1 game against Clemson, I want to see Georgia win this game so bad, right? It would be so crazy to see Clemson lose week 1. And this is the perfect game for that to happen. I don't think you blow Clemson out. I don't think you... And I'll do a special preview the week of these opening games. I'll do one for Miami, Alabama, and I'll do one for Georgia and Clemson where I'll give score predictions, break it down even more, all that. There's a lot that could happen this offseason with COVID and practices and everything, and there's a lot that can happen between now and then. I'm picking Georgia to win every other game, but for this Clemson one, I really love Georgia this year, man. I even got them going to the playoffs and everything. Give me Georgia winning week 1 over Clemson. Give me a 12-0 Georgia Bulldogs team, and I'll show you a great team in Atlanta come this December, folks. I think it's going to be a great year for the Bulldogs. I'm really high on them. They got great, talented They're always going to be stacked on defense with Kirby Smart, and they'll always be stacked on offense now. I mean, the question is, what's it going to be like after JT's gone? Well, they got this 5-star Brock Vandagriff coming in a couple years. Could something happen this offseason? Maybe he beats out JT. No, come on. Kirby's not going to give up on JT Daniels. There's no way. And there's no way Vandagriff is better than JT. JT's just, there's something special about JT Daniels. And he has finally flipped the switch for Kirby Smart's offense, giving it a spark. Y'all have your quarterback. You have what you need. You have it all, right? I think Georgia goes 12-0, upsets Clemson week 1. I think Clemson's probably going to be the favorite in this game. Therefore, it might be an upset if Georgia, not a huge upset. I mean, come on, you got to give Georgia some credit going into the game. But I feel like they pull it out in the end. That being said, I got you guys 12-0 heading to Atlanta on December 4th in the SEC title game. I had Alabama also 12-0, which means you could probably guess here 12-0 undefeated teams in the SEC title game, Georgia and Alabama. Let's book that. Let's get it going. Hey, thanks so much to everybody for tuning in today. Georgia fans, comment down below. I'm talking to you, Chess Hall, Uncle Lou, Junkyard Dog, if you're still watching here on YouTube, man. We don't see enough of you. Shout out to all the Bulldog fans. I love you guys. Got nothing but love and respect for you. You're good people. And I hope your team does really well this year. I really mean that. And I think they're going to. I got them 12-0 heading to Atlanta to play potentially Alabama unless somebody out of the West comes out of nowhere, which I really don't think that's going to happen, but more on the rest of the SEC West teams later on down the road. So anyway, thanks so much for tuning in and watching today. Please like, comment, and subscribe right here to Ballard Sports Media for more sports content. I would say let me know what team you want me to preview, but I got so many on the list to preview, man. We're going to go through the SEC, ACC, Big Ten, Pac-12. We're going to go through it all. We're going to try to knock it out. Thanks so much for watching and tuning in. Love you guys. Have an awesome day. Good luck to the Bulldogs and every other team out there this upcoming college football season. Let's have a great off season, and looking forward to getting back to college football. Georgia Bulldogs, I'm predicting them 12-0 SEC East champions and going to Atlanta. Let me know what you think down below. Have a great day. Like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff right here to Ballard Sports Media for more sports content. And until next time, Ballard Sports Media is checking out. Y'all have an awesome day. God bless. We'll see you later. Roll Tide Roll. Love you guys.